Hello, this is Sam from ValueTech Academy. In this video, I will discuss the 5 most common SQL questions asked in an interview. Subscribe to our channel for more SQL interview questions like this every week. Also, we have a free SQL course to help you practice SQL quickly using 30 scenarios. Link to this free SQL course is provided in the description. You can check it out. Let's get started now. So the first interview question we'll see today is to find the number of employees whose designation is database administrator. And for this, like we have to refer the table human resources dot employee. So in this video, we will be using this dataset provided by Microsoft to review the SQL questions. If you want to know how to get this dataset to practice these questions, check out the video we created. Link provided in description. So first, let's query this table and see the data. You can see the login information. So this gives the login ID of the employee, and you can see the designation here in this column, job title. So the question is, we need to find the number of employees whose designation is database administrator. So the designation information we can get from the job title, and the number of employees we can get from this login ID. So for each employee, the login ID is going to be unique. So we'll use this particular column, login ID, to get the employees count. So let me rewrite this query now. So the employee information can be got from the login ID. So I'm using this login ID column. And then we want only the designation database administrator. So what we'll do is we'll use a where clause. And you can see these are the two login information we got for the job title database administrator. So this means there are only two employees who has a designation as database administrator. But the question is we need to find the number of employees. So we'll just add a count for this login ID. So we got the number of employees whose designation is database administrator. Let's see the second question now. Find the ID of the business that offers a pay of $50 to $100 per hour. So the table we need to refer is human resources dot employee pay history. So here we need to find the businesses that offers a pay between $50 to $100 per hour, right? So let's query this table now. So here you can see the rate column. So these rates are like hourly pays. So we want to find only the rates between $50 to $100. So there are different pay rates here you can see in this column, right? So we are interested to find only the rates that is between 50 to 100. So what we can do is we can use this between in the where clause. So between 50 to $100, right? So we'll give this 50 and 100. Now we can see the records that has a pay rate between 50 to $100. See? But the question is we need to find the ID of the businesses. So what we'll do is like we just need only this column. Okay, for this particular rates, right? We need only the IDs, business IDs. So we'll rewrite this one, just adding the required column. So now we got the ID of the businesses that offers a pay of $50 to $100 per hour. Let's see the third question now. Find the product IDs common to both product and work order tables. So the tables we need to refer is production.product is the first table, and the second table we need to refer is production.work order. So let's query these tables and see the records in both of them. So in this table production.product, you have this column product ID. And if you go to the second table, production.work order, here also we have this table product ID. So it looks like product ID is a column common to both the tables production.product and production.work order. So we need to find the product IDs that are common to both product and work order tables. So here we are interested in only this particular column. So let's rewrite this query with the required column. So the required column here is product ID in both the tables. So using this query, you got the product IDs only from table production.product, and from this query you'll get the product IDs from production.workorder. Okay, so we got the product ID information from both these tables now, but the question is we need to find the product IDs that are common to both these tables. So what we can do is we'll use this intersect operator. The SQL Server Intersect combines result sets of two or more queries and returns the distinct rows that are output by both the queries. So what happens here is both the results, okay, both the result sets from this production.product and production.workorder are combined one, and then the product IDs that are like a distinct, that is common to both these tables, are returned using this intersect keyword. So let's see what happens. So here you can see, right? So only we got the product IDs that are common to production.product and production.workorder using this intersect operator keyword. Let us see the fourth question now. Display the first names, last names in a single column as full name separated with space. The table we need to refer is person.person. So let's query this table and see the records there. So you can see the first name and last name columns here. So we need only the first names and the last name. So what we'll do is we'll rewrite this query with the required columns. And we have only the first name and last name in the result set now. But the question is we need to display them in a single column. And now we have them as two separate columns, first name and last name. But the question is we need to combine both like first name and last name as a single column named full name, and while combining between the first name and last name, we need to separate them using a space. That is, between the first name and last name, there should be a space. So we need to combine both first name and last name, and there should be a space in between them. So how we can do is we'll use a function called concat. So the concat function will combine both the strings, and in between will give a space. I'll show you how we can do this. So we are going to combine first name and last name. Okay. So when you run this one, you can see, right, the first name and last name got combined. Okay. But the question is, we want to combine them as a single column. Okay. We got them as a single column, but they need to be separated. The first name and last name need to be separated with a space. So we'll add one more argument here, that is space. So let's run this one. And now you can see, right, here in this column, this is a single column where you have this first name and last name, and both are separated by a space. And they said like we need a single column as full name. So just give an alias to this one as full name. So now we got the first name and last name combined together in a single column called full name, and we have a space in between the first name and the last name. Let us see the fifth question now. Display the complete address details of the people who reside in the city Townsville. So the table we need to refer is person.address. So let's query this table and see the records in them. So here in this table person.address, you can see the address details like address line 1, line 2 and city and the postal code. So the complete address details you can get here. But we are interested to find the address detail of only the people who reside in the city Townsville. So we have many cities here, right? So we don't want the address details of people who live in other cities. We want to find the complete address details of people who reside in the city Townsville. So that is only we need to filter based on the city. So what we'll do is we'll add a where condition. So the city we need to filter is Townsville. So in this output, you can see we got filtered using the city Townsville, and we got the complete address information like address line 1, address line 2, and the state ID and the postal code of only the people who reside in the city Townsville. So in this way, this question can be answered. To learn SQL interview questions every week, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you want to practice more SQL queries using scenarios, check out our playlist for practical SQL scenarios. Link provided in description. Thanks for watching this video.